Hey everyone, it's Ellis, and this is the patch 10.18 notes rundown. I will be completely honest with you, the only purpose of this patch is to sell skins. So let's go into it. There's a couple of buffs on the champions, and there's nerfs, but really all that we're here for is the skins. So we're going to go over the buffs really quickly. They're not really buffs, they're just sort of something that I think that Riot threw into the patch pretty much so that they could pretend as if some of the champions have been changed or have any extra benefit, nerfs, what have you. We will touch on actually some of the nerfs, but for the most part, everything here is just, it's complete cover to make up for the real point of the patch, which is the skins. So, Ahri, passive replaced with Q passive, where now any spell can heal. W now grants movement speed, deals 200% damage to low health minions, and now better targets low health minions. So, her health region's down by 1. Passive, I can't pronounce this, Grace. Ahri gains an Essence Theft stack for enemy hit by her abilities up to a maximum of 3 per cast, and storing up to 9 at once. Upon reaching 9 stacks of Essence Theft, Ahri's next spell consumes the stacks to heal Ahri for 3 to 18, levels 1 to 16, plus 0.09 ability power for each enemy hit. Ahri no longer gains 20% bonus movement speed for 3 seconds when she lands 2 abilities against a champion within 1.5 seconds. Q, Orb of Deception. Essence Theft is now her passive. Okay, W, Foxfire. So this is the new thing going on with her. Grants her a burst of 40% MS, decaying over 1.5 seconds at cast. Now deals 200% damage to minions below 20% health. So one of the weird things here is that now with the W, it helps you set up a little bit better, but the removal of her movement speed on chaining her combo against the opponent, activating it, and then using that movement speed to retreat is probably not going to be, it's just not there anymore. So if you're looking to set up with W and you need the MS to set up, it's going to be really good. If you're running away, if you're in a mid-game standoff, the movement speed can actually be very good for fetching for charms without having to rely on just using your ultimate. So in that regard, it can definitely be good. This isn't what's gating Ahri from competitive. None of these changes are really what is her problem inside of the game right now. She has a lot of difficulty with itemization. She has difficulty with being a worthwhile pick over other champions. And all in all, it just feels really lackluster. The wave clear added to her W, improved targeting, the cooldown actually going up by 1 second, the mana cost going up. It just feels like Riot didn't communicate to any Ahri players. I think that a lot of them will say that now deals 200% minions to below 20% health. That can really be nice, but Ahri eventually hits a point where stuff like this is just ultimately luxury. The burst of movement speed is good, absolutely. The passive is a bit of a joke, especially if you've seen Samira's new passive or something. So I guess that there is that there, but the healing, it just doesn't really feel that practical. Ashe, base attack speed decreased, 61 to 59, doesn't really matter. Bug fix on Ranger's Focus, not the end of the world. Galio, Q-base damage decreased. Okay, so once he ends up getting AP, it's not really going to change anything, but I suppose that this makes him a little bit weaker inside of laning phase. Galio is a really good champion. I'm mostly going to just blitz through these things because this is all just filler. It's all pretty much nonsense. Kayle is one of the good changes, and then I think that there is actually another good change later on with Set and Shyvana. But anyways, Kayle, Radiant Blast no longer restores 50% of the mana cost for each enemy champion hit. I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know this was a thing. Celestial Blessing on her W, 70 to 110 mana to 90 to 130 mana. Not the end of the world. It is a little bit more mana intensive in the laning phase, so that's hurting her sustain a little bit. However, Starfire Spellblade, no cost anymore. So if you were previously activating, 3, 4 Starfire Spellblades, all that mana is just now there and available, and that's going to make up for the problem on W, especially because you don't max W in any stages of the game, so it's not really bleeding your mana that much. Missile speed 2,000 to 5,000, though, is very, very, very big. The problem with Kayle, though, that a lot of people have commented about is that her late game doesn't feel like the Titan that it once was. The transition at various stages of the game, the fact that it feels like she's missing a rune, the fact that it feels like she's missing items. Maybe Season 11 with the item overhaul can actually help her out, but as it stands right now, I know that a lot of people, even Kayle enthusiasts, don't feel that great about the champion, even though I do think this is a push in the right direction. Kog'Maw base health and armor growth decreased. Health growth is down by 5 per level, so randomly just losing a lot of value at level 18. Kind of impactful for him, but not the end of the world. Does make him a little bit more susceptible to poke. Armor growth down, I don't think affects him that much inside of the laning phase. Generally, he's outranging most of his opponents, and he's coming in as a counter pick anyway, so I don't think that it really matters all that much. Misforce and base attack speed growth increased. goes up by 0.75%. W strut maximum bonus movement speed 50 to 90 to 55 to 95. So that's a nice little change for MF. I think that she should be getting picked up again, but for the time being, she's really not. Rumble. Q total damage increased. Flame Spitter 175 to 315 to 180 to 340. So obviously this is a really nice big buff for Rumble. I guess they're bringing back Justin, or I don't believe that, is this the Worlds patch? I think that 1018 is the Worlds patch. Maybe it actually says it in the notes. I'm going to scroll up, and I do not know, is this the Worlds patch? It does not actually say it in the notes. So, as we go down, the set passive. So, passive Pit Grit, right punch bonus damage ratio, 0.15 total AD to 0.5 bonus attack damage, Q knuckle down, got changed from 10 to 50 plus 1 to 5% target max HP plus 0.01 per 100 total AD to 10 to 50 plus 0.01 of target's maximum health plus 1 to 3% per 100 total attack damage. This is really good for AD set, so it's good for a laning set. Obviously, jungle set has been getting picked up a lot in competitive. I have always remained constant in the notion that it is a byproduct of not the greatest of play that is causing the champion to flourish. Another thing is obviously his functional usage of runes, most notably Phase Rush, and also down in bottom lane, Hextech Flash Traption is causing him to get a lot of aid that perhaps in Season 11, when some of these things might potentially get changed, or items end up getting changed, set ends up getting indirectly hit, so we'll have to pay attention to that. Shen shield is reverted. This is totally fine. He's still going to be in a fine state. Shyvana did end up getting buffed. This is really good for Worlds, where champions like Evelynn, Lilia, Shyvana, Karthus, Nidalee, they need to basically be on everyone's mind because they're slowly taking over, and I think that it's really good. We could definitely see more Shyvana coming up. Twitch, E damage per stack ratio increased. R bolt damage reduction per enemy hit decreased. E contaminate, 0.2 ability power, maximum 1.2 ability power. Wait, what? He doesn't build AP. Unless what they're trying to do is incentivize some sort of Guinsu's Rageblade build or something. That would be the only way that he gets any benefit from E. Bolt damage reduction per enemy hit, 20% from previous hit. Minimum damage cap at 5% per enemy hit. Minimum damage cap of 70%, okay? Xin Zhao, W thrush damage increase. Xin Zhao is no longer the early game threat he used to be, so we're giving him a bump up in his damage and clear. Thrush damage 30 to 170 plus 0.57 AD to 40 to 180 plus 0.8 attack damage. So this is actually really nice for Xin Zhao, but like I already mentioned, some of the AP champions, however, Xin Zhao does have some good matchups into some of them. I don't know why he totally fell by the wayside. I still think that he is actually viable as a physical damage jungler, depending on what you're needing, and then obviously in solo queue, he's still a bit of a menace. Guardian, shield ratio 0.25 AP plus 0.12 ability power to 0.15 ability power plus 0.09 bonus health. Bit of a weird change. Champions that are still going to take Guardian for their laning phase are still going to take it. Other champions that maybe can be on the fence with other runes are probably now going to just shift off of it. It's not super big, but I mean, it's definitely something that we played around. All right, so visual effects updates. These things are all obviously really cool. The Malzahar one looks really nice. I think the Riot team that ended up doing these is fantastic. And then we go into bug fixes. It seems like there's a lot of stuff there. Okay, so the real thing for the patch, remember, this patch was only made to sell skins. If you actually believe that any of these changes are here to have some sort of game impact, you're wrong. This entire patch's purpose is one thing and one thing only. This is like an expansion pack in one of the console video games. This is like the new Madden coming out or something else. This is only here to sell you skins. So, the Psyop skin line, we'll end up taking a look at this. Remember, I am still a boomer. I do not totally know how to just look at all of these skins or open them. So, this is Sona. Alright, well, unfortunately, Sona's been nerfed a little bit in recent times. I don't know when maybe she was scheduled to get this skin made. I would imagine that it would have been maybe when she was in her prime earlier on inside of the year, but it seems like this is not going to be the case. I think the aesthetics of it look really nice. She reminds me of Jean Grey or something from X-Men meets Storm, so I think that vibe definitely looks a little cool. Overall, I think the skin looks really, really pretty. I love celestial looking colors like this on her hair and whatnot. It does seem like she is a little bit toxin, so I'm not totally sure on that. We move on to Vi. Well, unfortunately, Vi's gonna need a little bit more buffs. Also, these just look really clunky. Like, it doesn't even look like it belongs. This just looks like some cartoonish character out of X-Men or something that's like C tier in the show, whose only purpose is to basically be a filler character that just gets scrapped by the next season. So I don't totally know. I have no idea how to feel about this. I just, yeah, I just don't know how to feel about it. It's a really really weird looking skin. It looks like Pink a little bit. The musician. Maybe some people don't remember about her. Psyop Shen. This is looking like Master Yi actually just started going to the gym a little bit, and somehow we ended up like this. Alternatively, this could be the Ninja Gaiden ninja. I think, what is his name? I am completely blanking on his name. If you remember his name, you can obviously write that below and make fun of me for not remembering. Isn't it Hayabusa? Isn't it Ryu Hayabusa? It's actually exactly what Shen looks like here, so I think that this skin looks really cool. We have okay, and speaking of Master... Alright, so Shen went to the gym, and Master Yi started taking some lessons out of Echo or something, because this just looks like Echo went to the future. This is like Trunks and Dragon Ball or something. And you notice over here it says Psyops on his blade. Obviously, Riot, I think, has heard the calls of R5 Master Yi, so, you know, I think they understand. Now we move into Psyops Ezreal. He looks actually a little bit royal in this photo. I don't totally know what's going on here. He doesn't actually look as old as he looks in some of the other splash arts that Riot's done, as well as some of the videos. If you guys know what I'm talking about, Ezreal in some of the videos looks like he's like 30 or 40 years old, trying to look 12. But here he actually does look like a prince or something. He looks pretty youthful, and he does look pretty stylish. It looks like some sort of a villain or antagonist inside of like a Dragon Ball series or something. I feel like I've used this reference a few times in the past, but obviously the skin is quite nice. Hashtag Ziggs. Honestly, whoever does his dental work, A+. If it's actually Ziggs that does his own dental work, I mean, the guy's got good hygiene. So, you know, good hygiene probably means that he keeps his bombs really, really clean. And honestly, you should see the way this guy holds his balls. It's actually... It's really impressive the way that he manages to control them. So definitely get yourself the Zig skin, because the dental work here is fantastic. You're really gonna give it to him. And then we have the Prestige skin. Ooh, this actually looks really cool. I can't remember what video game it was that actually had the antagonists, their eyes would turn gold or something like that. It actually did look somewhat evil, but at the same time, it had this pure look to it, almost like I don't know what the words are, but they're escaping me. I'm totally blanking on this. It's like an angelic, it's like an evil looking angel or something. There's some way that they just managed to capture that. I don't really know, but that's the feeling that I'm getting while looking at this. I think this skin actually looks really cool, the splash art for it. But I'm definitely going to give the cakes to the Zig skin, because honestly the dental hygiene being displayed in the splash is just fantastic. So that was it. Thank you for watching the 10.18 skins rundown. That was pretty much it. All these changes, nothing matters. Nothing matters. If someone says something matters, they're wrong. And the only thing that matters here is the skins. So pretty good.